Thank you for tuning in to the 2020 UPike Baird Awards presentation. My name is Gary Justice, UPike Athletics Hall of Fame member class 2004, and I'll be your host for this special event. Normally today would have been, and still is, one of the most fun and exciting events on the athletic calendar, with all of our student athletes coming together with their teams, some for the final time, for this elegant night to honor their friends, brothers, and sisters on the field. Unfortunately, because of the obvious world climate and safety precautions, that night could not go as planned. But here at UPike Athletics, we still wanted to bring a beacon of light and positivity to continuing to honor our student athletes. Tonight, there will be no solitary awards outside the prestigious Chrisman Award at the event's conclusion. Instead, we will honor all of our deserving student athletes for each award, which will be nominated by the UPike coaching staffs across all sports. With that said, let's begin with the first award of the night, the team's MVPs. These MVPs were nominated by the coaches for their leaderships and excellence in all aspects, starting in alphabetical order by team, with the archery team coming first. The first team MVPs go to Dylan Turley and Anna Scarborough. Dylan is a freshman from Greenville, Kentucky. Anna is a freshman from Athens, Georgia. Moving on to the diamond for the baseball team. MVP is Noah Helton, a freshman outfielder from Somerset, Kentucky. Moving on to the hardwood for the basketball team. First up for the men's team, the MVP, Luke Lehue, a senior from Ripley, West Virginia, and the women's basketball MVP, Brianna Burbage, a junior forward from Frankfort, Kentucky. On to the bowling lanes, on to the bowling MVPs on the men's side. Jonathan Lovett, a junior from Columbia, South Carolina, and for the women, Jessica Wolf, a senior from Kettering, Ohio. Representing the cheer MVP is Morgan Dixon, a junior from Hazard, Kentucky. For our long-distance runners on the cross-country team, Mason Rowe, the junior from Abington, Virginia, takes home the men's honor, while Julia Pernsteiner, a sophomore from Egon, Minnesota, earned the women's award. Moving over to the dance team, their team MVP is Brooklyn Newsom, a junior from here in Pikeville, Kentucky. The esports team is honoring 3 players for each of the games they were competing in, beginning with Lane Cumby, a senior from Lancaster, Kentucky, on the League of Legends team. Stephen Osborne, a senior from Kimberling City, Missouri, is the Overwatch MVP, and Jeremy Stacy, a junior from Pikeville, earns the Hearthstone Award. The football team nominated an offensive and defensive team MVP, with Alex Shelton, a sophomore tight end from Hollywood, Florida, taking home the offensive award, while Tyrone Brown, a senior defensive back from Douglasville, Georgia, earns the defensive award. Moving on to the men's and women's golf, as a pair of seniors take home the awards. Blake Moody from Dublin, Ohio, will take home the award for the men, and Ellen Kehoe of Campbellsville, Kentucky, earned the award for the women's team. Our soccer team similarly honored a pair of seniors, with striker Eric Benebu from Barcelona, Spain, taking home the men's MVP, while midfielder Skylar Chapman of Louisa, Kentucky, was named the women's MVP. Now for the softball, who gave their MVP to a fairly local product in senior pitcher Hannah Skaggs from Salyersville, Kentucky. Just a few teams left as we move on to our tennis team, who were most affected by the coronavirus pandemic, cutting their season off just before it began. The men's MVP award goes to Juan Diego Medina, a freshman from Bogota, Colombia. The women's team award goes to Andrea Hurtado, a junior from Bogota. On to one of our newest programs, the track and field teams. The men award goes to Cannon Pillar from Sevierville, Tennessee, while the women's award goes to Kim Lester, a sophomore from Grundy, Virginia. Our final team MVP award honors the volleyball team and Noelani Simpson, a senior outside hitter from Fontana, California. The academic teams of the year, awarded to the top teams by gender and overall team cumulative GPA. First for the women, golf with a 3.9 GPA, tennis with a 3.76 GPA, and the softball team with a 3.6 GPA. Great job, ladies. On the men's side, had a tie for first place. Bowling and basketball both come in with 3.32 GPAs, and the soccer team come with a 3.28 team GPA. Great job, guys. Champions of Character. Awarded to each sports Mid-South Conference Champion Character team member. First for the archery team. From the men's, Zach Johnson from Corbin, Kentucky. Women's archery, Lauren Burgess from Lexington, Kentucky. Baseball, Kevin Justice from Pikeville, Kentucky. Men's basketball, Shek Nadai from Bonnyman, Kentucky. Women's basketball, Urilis Estrada from Barranquilla, Columbia. Men's bowling, John Holyfield from Jenkins, Kentucky. Women's bowling, Lauren Piotrowski from Schenectady, New York. Cheer, Taylor Sowards from Pikeville, Kentucky. Men's cross country, Trinity May from Belfry, Kentucky. Women's cross country, Caitlin Puckett from Grundy, Virginia. Dance, Kerrigan McPeak from Pikeville, Kentucky. Esports, John Turner from Slip, Kentucky. Football, Bowen Smith from Aiken, South Carolina. Men's golf, Trey Eisenberg from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. Women's golf, Boo Newsom from Inez, Kentucky. Men's soccer, Billy Catano from Santa Teleca, El Salvador. Women's soccer, Skylar Chapman from Louisa, Kentucky. Softball, Haley Osborne from Georgetown, Kentucky. Men's tennis, Juan Diego Medina from Bogota, Colombia. Women's tennis, Andrea Hurtado from Bogota, Colombia. Men's track and field, Zach Hall from Hazard, Kentucky. Women's track and field, Felicia Scarlett from Vero Beach, Florida. Volleyball, Emmy Barker from Mount Vernon, Kentucky. On to the Bill Baird Community Service Award. We now move to one of the most prestigious awards for the evening, the Bill Baird Community Service Award, named after former UPike softball coach and Athletic Hall of Famer Bill Baird. This award is to honor those student athletes and teams who make a difference in the Pikeville community. This year we'll be honoring all deserving nominees and recognizing every one of those efforts. Our first honoree is the cheer team, who worked with the Cornerstone Christian Church each month bagging groceries, assisting with the distribution of groceries. In addition, these young ladies have helped elementary and middle school cheerleaders across the 15th region with skill development and choreography. Our second team honor goes to the women's basketball team, who have volunteered at numerous events in the area, including the YMCA after-school program, Buckets for Backpacks food drive, Nightmare on Main, National Reading Day at Mullins Elementary School, and on-site building for Habitat for Humanity. Our first individual honoree is Josh Arvin, a sophomore linebacker on the football team from Syersville. Josh has spent countless hours through summer, fall, and spring all across the community. School visits, Habitat for Humanity, Signature Care, Frida Harris Baptist Center, the Animal Shelter, and he is a SAC leader as well. The next honoree is a SAC member also, Carrington Russell, a freshman bowler from Virginia Beach. Carrington is an academic All-American and is always looking to help others, always supports the university in any area she can. We have another team to honor in the softball team, who spent 300 plus total hours with the East Kentucky Dream Center and did a door-to-door food drive for Thanksgiving. Our next honoree is a senior cross-country runner, Caitlin Puckett from Grundy, Virginia. Caitlin organized a jacket drive for Judy's Place as well as a food drive for the homeless shelter. Our final winner is Shek Nadai, who represents UPike every day as a student ambassador, is a champion character recipient, and is a resident assistant. Now for one of the more fun awards of the evening, the Pikey Spirit Award. This award goes to the team or individual that has always been supporting their fellow athletes and raising the spirit of UPike to an all-time high. Our first winner is Adam Hoteling of the esports team. Adam supported other athletic teams, was president of the SGA Biology Club, as well as winning competitions in speech and radio broadcasting for UPike, and being generally involved in any campus event he could support, in addition to being a resident assistant. The first team honoree is the football team. Known for rocking the bleacher for many sporting events, the football team raises the spirit level everywhere they go and make the games more exciting for anyone. Our next honoree, sophomore cross-country runner Jackson Blaine from Frankfort, Kentucky. Jackson is at every game he can be at and has always been seen supporting every event he can on campus. Our second team award is a women's basketball team who always makes the effort to attend other teams' games as well as help out with campus events. The next honoree is neither a team or an individual. Instead, our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, who would frequently send teams off on road trips, lead community service projects, as well as boosting overall team in university spirit. Our next individual honoree is senior quarterback Bowen Smith of the football team. Bowen is one of the leading supporters of all UPike athletics, always cheering on the Bears wherever and whoever they're playing. Our next award is the Derrick Big Show Silas Orange Heart Award, also known as the 110% Award. Named after former UPike football Original Nine member and assistant coach Derrick Silas. This award goes to someone that gives their all at all times, both on and off the competition surface. This year we are honoring all players nominated by their coaches. From the fall season we are honoring 4 players. Benjamin Hall, sophomore cross-country runner from Lewis County, Kentucky. Luke Atkinson, a junior defensive lineman from Virginia, Kentucky. Billy Catano, a junior midfielder from Santa Calica, El Salvador. And Elizabeth Libby Lukens, a freshman goalkeeper from Bellevue, Kentucky. We have 5 honorees from the winter sports season. Brittany Turncott, a senior bowler from Châteauguay, Quebec, Canada. David Lee, the junior men's basketball team manager from Chinese Taipei. Taylor Berger, a junior guard from Bevansville, Kentucky. Tabitha Kilgore, a dancer from Harlan, Kentucky. And Sarah Coots, a cheerleader from Whitesburg, Kentucky. Finally, the spring season, we have 8 honorees. Noah Thomas, a freshman weight thrower from Ashland, Kentucky. Kyle Evans, a junior archer from Tug Valley, West Virginia. Hayden Jung, a junior infielder from Farmington, Utah. Juan Diego Medina, a freshman tennis player from Bogota, Colombia. Grace Morris, a sophomore golfer from Manchester, Kentucky. Hannah Apshire, a senior infielder from Columbia, Kentucky. Dustin Rensettle, a junior golfer from Whitesburg, Kentucky. And Riley Mullins, a sophomore tennis player from Clintwood, Virginia. Our next award begins the performance section of our evening as we hand out the Comeback Player of the Year awards. To be eligible for this award, a student athlete has to come back from a debilitating injury or illness to excel on the playing surface. Men's basketball has 2 deserving nominees. The first is junior guard Jordan Perry from West Liberty, Kentucky, who set out the 2018 and 2019 season with both an injury and illness to average a team-high 16.8 points per game and earned all Mid-South Conference honors. The second honoree is a senior forward, Xavier Guana from Kilgore, Texas, who missed 13 games this season with multiple fractures in his leg and averaged 10 points, 6 rebounds per game in his 5-game return at the end of the season. Our next nominee is Emily Tull, a sophomore bowler from Baltimore, Maryland. Emily also overcame an injury that kept her out the majority of her freshman season and averaged 187 pins per game this season, the 5th highest on the team, and also earned all Mid-South Conference honors. Next is Brenna Soles, a junior catcher from Lexington, Kentucky. Brenna suffered a knee injury that kept her off the field entirely last season, but came back and was hitting .333 with 5 RBIs before the season got cut short. Our next honoree is Samira Frazier, a freshman cheerleader from Whitesburg, Kentucky. Samira injured her knee early in the year, and the words of her coach, as each practice encouraged her teammates and helped in any way she could. She not only was able to come back and compete with her team, but she worked hard individually and strengthened her knee. The final honoree is Tyrone Brown, a senior defensive back from Douglasville, Georgia. Tyrone suffered multiple leg injuries in the first game of the 2018 season that kept him off the field. After receiving a medical red shirt, he came back to lead the team with 78 tackles while also recording 3 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and was an All-Mid-South Conference selection. Our next award is a Breakthrough Athlete of the Year, which is reserved for the returning student athletes that made a vast improvement over the season. The first honoree is Alexis Tun Ball, a senior golfer from Jenkins, Kentucky. Alexis lowered her average score by 8 strokes over her career and had a high finish of 9th place in the tournament this season. Our next honoree is Ashley Belcher, junior cheerleader from Elkhorn City, Kentucky, who helped to lead the cheer team to the Mid-South Conference Championship. The next winner is Maya Holmes, a sophomore forward from Richlands, Virginia. Maya scored 4 goals and had 3 assists on the year while after redshirting through the 2018 season. The men's soccer award winner is Juan Diego Medina, who became a regular starter after not playing soccer since his childhood. Esports Breakthrough Athlete of the Year is Jacob Bowling of the League of Legends team, who stepped up into the main rotation this year. The dance team's honoree is Kerrigan McPeak, a junior who stepped into the leadership role to help guide a young team through the season. Kayla Snyder was chosen to represent the archery team. Kayla joined the archery team late last season after coming to UPike for track and field. She earned 2 gold medals and 3 bronze medals, including a bronze at 3D Nationals. Baseball's nominee is Jonathan McKenzie, who hit .353 with 5 RBIs and 3 runs scored in 10 games before the season got cut short after not playing at all last season. The softball nominee is senior pitcher Hannah Skaggs. Hannah started the season 7-0 with a .093 ERA after going 13-12 with a 2.89 ERA last year. Benjamin Hall represents the track and cross-country teams after rewriting multiple school records this season. The women's basketball nominee is sophomore guard Haley Free, who played nearly every game this season and averaged 4.8 points, 1.3 rebounds, and 1.2 assists per game after playing 10 games in the previous season. For men's bowling, Hayden Word, a sophomore from Cleveland, Tennessee, takes home the award. After competing in just 5 events as a freshman, Ward competed in nearly every tournament and raised his average by 4 pins, averaging nearly 200 in 2 events this season. Darius Gibson, a sophomore running back, takes home the award for football. Darius went from playing second and third string role to rushing for 839 yards, 8 TDs in 8 games, and became a second-team All-Mid-South Conference selection. Volleyball has the final nominee, and that is Meghan Frazier. A sophomore hitter from Betsy Lane, Meghan nearly quadrupled her kill total, going from 55 as a freshman to 208 this season. Now here's one of the more fun awards of the year, the record-breaking performances of the year. Here's all the records broken by our Bears this year. First up, track and field. Cheerleading, 4th Mid-South Conference title with a final score of 85.03 in the team category. Women's golf broke 300 for the first time in school history, shooting a 298 in the UPike Fall Invitational. Also broke the 2-day total with a score of 615. The individual lowest round in school history was set by Ellen Kehoe, shooting a 67. She also broke the 2-day school record with a 141, which is -3 for the 2-day total. Lauren Piotrowski, women's bowling, broke the average record and average differential record. NAIA Player of the Year, Mid-South Conference Player of the Year, the IBMA finalist and first-team All-American, also academic All-American. Football, 11 sacks against Campbellsville. Tyrone Brown, a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown, and 5 blocked punts, 2 which were returned for touchdowns. For softball, Meghan Claypool broke her school record of 17 strikeouts in a game against PSU Beaver when she struck out 18 batters. Men's basketball, 8 consecutive 20-win seasons and 8 straight NAIA qualifiers for the national tournament. Nicholas Litterborough, Esports, League of Legends, most objectives stolen in a game. Anibal Navarro, 21 saves in one game against Montreat College. The archer team also rewrote the record book this year. Now for our Performance of the Year, which is reserved for those performances that aren't necessarily record-breaking, but are still awe-inspiring in their own right. Esports, League of Legends, reverse swept South Dakota Mines and Technologies despite debilitating technical issues and disconnections through an incredible mental fortitude, teamwork, and the support of Jordan Cantor and Jennifer Peck. Cheerleading, UPike cheer performance in the finals of the UCA College Cheer Championships. This performance resulted in bronze medals for the team members, the first time ever for the team to receive national medals. Football, UPike defensive shutout versus Cumberland, Tennessee, gave up only 154 yards of offense, one of 2 shutouts in the last 15 years. Women's bowling, back-to-back Mid-South Conference tournament champions and 8-time regular season conference champions. Archery, first place Mid-South Conference indoor, the best team finish in program history. Softball, upsetting number 12, Indiana Wesleyan University in the first game of the season. Women's track and field, Kim Lester wins the 400-meter at the Tiffin Dragon Open. Women's basketball, defeated number 7 Shawnee State, only their second loss of the season at that point. Men's bowling, winning the Mid-South Conference Championship by winning 5 matches on Championship Day. Now on to the Female Freshman of the Year. Women's basketball, Bailey Frazier, forward from Wise, Virginia, averaged 5.2 points and 2.1 rebounds per game. Softball, Alyssa Franklin, third baseman from Millstone, Kentucky, hit .485, 16 hits, 5 doubles, and 8 RBIs. And Zoe Ingram, a shortstop from Ashland, Kentucky, a .455 average, 15 hits, 2 doubles, a triple, and 6 RBIs. Cheerleading, Ashley Eldridge from Letcher, Kentucky. Archery, Anna Scarborough from Athens, Georgia. Team U.S. participant at the World Youth Championships, broke national record, won 3D national champion, won 3D national bronze medal, and a Mid-South Conference indoor champion. Women's track and field, Sierra McKinney, 1 top 10, 3 top 20s in shot put. Women's soccer, Kylie Maynard from Louisa, Kentucky, 2 goals scored from the midfield position. Dance, Michaela Clem from Pikeville, Kentucky. Women's cross country, Hannah Fry from Frankfort, Kentucky, 2 personal records set to a top 40 finish at the Patty Forgery Invitational. Football, Jaquez Russ from Tamarack, Florida, appeared in 10 games as a freshman linebacker, had 1 interception, 16 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 3 pass breakups. Esports, Jordan Cantor from Winchester, Kentucky. A walk-on took on the DPS role in Overwatch. Great work ethic, commitment to the team helped Overwatch team reach the next level. Men's soccer, Jack Burleson from Germantown, Tennessee, 2 goals scored and 1 assist as a defender. Men's basketball, Corbin Spencer from Sandy Hook, Kentucky, 16 minutes per game, averaged 7 points per game, shot 82% from the free throw line, which led the team, 37 steals, which also led the team, and was top 5 in the Mid-South Conference in steals per game. Men's golf, Blake Malpin from Richmond, Kentucky, the November 4th Golfer of the Week, 3rd place finish at the Alice Lloyd College Fall Invitational. Men's cross country, Cade Watson from Belfry, Kentucky, 2 top 50s in cross country, a top 10 finishes in the 4x800 and distant medley run at the indoor Mid-South Conference Championship. Baseball, Noah Hilton from Somerset, Kentucky, led all qualified hitters on the team with a .347 average and 9 RBIs and 7 doubles, and had a perfect fielding percentage in the outfield. Men's track and field, Bobby, alums from Bristow, Virginia, top 10 finishes in 200 meter and 4x400 at the Mid-South Conference Indoor Championships. Archery, Dustin Eldridge from Hindman, Kentucky, 3D Barebow National Gold Medalist, and the Mid-South Conference Barebow Indoor Champion. For the Female Newcomer of the Year, women's basketball, Alyssa Sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, 2.4 points per game, along with 2.4 rebounds per game. Softball, sophomore Alicia Bowling from Sorrento, Florida, 300 average with 7 hits, 4 RBIs, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Women's soccer, Maya Holmes from Richlands, Virginia. Maya scored 4 goals and had 3 assists on the year after redshirting through the 2018 season. Cheerleading, Madison Campbell from Hazard, Kentucky, transferred here from Eastern Kentucky University. The Male Newcomer of the Year, esports, Nicholas Letterbaro from Wake Forest, North Carolina, transferred to League of Legends team as starting jungler, outstanding objective control and early game pressure. Logan Hensley from Nicholasville, Kentucky, Overwatch off-tank role, especially skilled in nullifying abilities of the enemy team. Baseball, Eduardo Bello from Rivera, Panama, led the team with 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. Football, Alex Saunders from Hazelhurst, Georgia, 441 yards rushing, the second most on the team, and 1 touchdown. And finally, men's basketball, DeAndre Barton from Augusta, Georgia, 8.8 points per game and 2.6 rebounds, shooting 49% from the field and 78% from the free throw line. Women's Team of the Year. Women's bowling, Mid-South Conference Championship regular season and tournament champions, 6 team wins and 2 All-Americans. Softball, 11-3 start before the season was shut down with a 3.28 team average and a 1.8 team ERA. Cheerleading, the Mid-South Conference champion and 3rd place at the NCAA Nationals. Men's Team of the Year. Men's bowling, the Mid-South Conference tournament champions, the USBC, ITC, and the NAIA tournament qualifier, 10 team top 10 finishes. Men's basketball, 2011 record, NAIA tournament appearance, and 2 all Mid-South Conference players. Esports Overwatch team, projected to win out the year in the league and contend for the national championship, ranked top 17 in spring and rapidly improved throughout the year. Female Athlete of the Year. Women's golf, Ellen Keyhole from Campbellsville, Kentucky, top 10 nationally ranked, a low single round score in UPike history of 67, and the individual win of the UPike Fall Invitational. Dance, Brooklyn Newsom from Pikeville. Archery, Katie Carr from Corbin, Kentucky, 2 national records set, USA Archery Barebow Collegiate Archer of the Year, 3D National Gold Medalist, 2 national bronze medals, a Mid-South Conference Indoor Barebow Individual and Barebow Team Champion. Women's track and field, Kim Lester from Grundy, Virginia, 3 top 10 finishes at the Mid-South Conference Indoor Championships in the 200 meter, 400 meter, and 600 meter. Also, 400 meter wins at 2 indoor meets this season as well. Women's cross country, Julia Pernsteiner from Egon, Minnesota, 4th place finish at the Patty Forger Invitational, a top 20 finish at the Asbury Invitational. Women's soccer, Kylie Maynard from Louisa, Kentucky, 2 goals scored from the midfield position. Volleyball, Melania Simpson from Fontana, California, 4th in the NAIA in kills per set with 4.6, 427 total kills, and an all Mid-South Conference selection. Women's basketball, Brianna Burbage from Frankfort, Kentucky, averaged 10.9 points per game along with 7.4 rebounds per game, earning an all Mid-South Conference selection. Women's bowling, Lauren Piotrowski from Schenectady, New York. She broke the average record and the average differential record. She was the NAIA Player of the Year, Mid-South Conference Player of the Year, the IBMA finalist, and the first team All-American. Also, she was an academic All-American. Softball, Hannah Skaggs from Sayersville, Kentucky, 7-0 record, 0.93 ERA, 49 strikeouts, and 2 shutouts. Now on to the Male Athlete of the Year. Football, Tyrone Brown from Douglasville, Georgia, came back to lead the team with 78 tackles while also recording 3 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and was selected as an All-Mid-South Conference performer. Men's basketball, Luke Lehue from Ripley, West Virginia, averaged 12.6 points per game, along with 7.1 rebounds per game, had 9 double-doubles throughout the season, and shot 63.7% from the field, third best in the NAIA this year. Archery, A.J. Clements from Greenville, Georgia, 3D recurve individual and team national champion, mixed equipment and mixed recurve silver medalist, Mid-South Conference recurve indoor gold medalist, indoor mixed recurve and men's recurve team gold medalist. Men's track and field, Austin Klosterman from Dayton, Kentucky, 7th place finish in the 60-meter hurdles at the Mid-South Conference Indoor Championship, also competed in the high and triple jump. Baseball, Noah Helton from Somerset, Kentucky, led all qualified hitters on the team with a .347 average, 9 RBIs and 7 doubles, and a perfect fielding percentage in the outfield. Men's soccer, Anibal Navarro from Albania, LaGuardia, Colombia, 6th in the NAIA with 116 total saves, 20th in saves per game at 6.1. Men's bowling, Alex Hoffman from Utica, Ohio, a 199 average, 6 events over 200 average, 5 top 25 finishes, and an All-Mid-South Conference selection. And now for the Chrisman Award. Established in 2007 by his family, the award is presented in his memory and honors in his life. The award is presented annually to a graduating male and female student-athlete who exemplified the love of the sport, love of the university, and the love of the community. A monetary award is also included. The male winner is Luke Lehue. The female winner, Lauren Piotrowski. I want to thank you for tuning in to tonight's awards. All of us here at the UPike Athletics wish you the best. Hope you and yours are staying safe and healthy at home in this trying time. We'll be back soon, and as always, go Bears.